Jesus' name, amen.
All right, we have bid openings right at 9 o'clock. So Carl, if you would like to get with Lynn there, we'll go ahead and start that.
Paving bids for CCMG.
This will be bid for the CCMG grant.
No, that's something different.
Perfect. All right, the first is from E&B Paving Incorporated. There we go. All right. Total bid of $1,251,931.89. $1,251,931.89. You just want the total bid read, Carl?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. The next bid is from CNR Construction out of Corydon, Indiana. Total bid of $1,217,605. $1,217,605. Third and final bid is from Calcar Paving, Jasper, Indiana. $1,087,944.20. $1,087,944.20. That concludes the bid openings for the paving. Commissioners should take the bids under advisement.
I would ask for a motion.
I'll make that motion.
And I would second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3-2-0.
And those bids are available for inspection and review.
All right. We do not have a sheriff's report today. Oh, I apologize. I would ask for a motion to approve the minutes from the January 7th meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, and I will second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I would also ask approval of the payroll claims.
I'll make that motion.
I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, approved 2-0. We will move on to the highway department. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning. Orange County Highway crews have been busy prepping our equipment, our trucks for the upcoming snow here with the forecast. We're kind of all over the radar here on what we might get. I know the hype's coming, but we could get a pretty good size storm over the weekend. So we will be ready for that. County doesn't have the luxury like NDOT where they have trucks just for snow removal. We have to use ours for everyday stuff. So it's quite the commitment when we put all the plows and spreaders and chains on, but we will be ready. County highway operators were able to spend a couple more days up on the new gun range for the sheriff's department. It's starting to really come together slowly, but the winter weather has got to shut down. Would like to make, would like the commissioners to consider signing an on-call contract. I believe, Lynn, you have that with you?
I do, yes.
It's from Butler, Fairman, and Seifert. This would be for possible professional services work in the future in 2026.
And they did make the suggested changes. Carl sent it to me. I reviewed and had 2 changes which were made by Butler.
What's the cap on
That's not for any specific work. It just gives their pay ranges
On call.
for on-call.
Yes,
It's not committing to
it's
anything.
on the back and he's found it.
it? It's basically a list of costs per week.
Yes, if we were to use them.
For whatever expertise is needed.
Yes.
And then there's a 30-day termination for convenience clause as well that was added.
All right, how's that normally run, Carl? Is there you got a range as far as what you might need? I'm talking about caps, basically.
I know that I've been talking to him about, like a 5-year, bridge replacement plan, helping us come up with that, with the, inventory, or the amount of money that we have coming in. That is the same company that has our county bridge inspection, so they have privy to every bit of information on our county bridges. Have been in talks with them about possibly, helping develop a plan. We have some bridges around that could possibly need some overlay, epoxy overlays on the decks and things like that. I do think it'd be a big benefit to have a concrete 5-year plan. We've got the federal aid bridge in play. Also, we've also got 9 truss bridges in the county. That's a heck of a liability that are ticking time bombs that we're gonna have to do something with. So I see value in getting like a 5-year plan together with that. They did send something, I don't have it with me to present, but they it's $23,000 for them to perform their services.
That's your do not exceed. Okay. And my understanding on this as well is they're gonna figure out a way for us to get the very most out of our bridge dollars, because it's pretty limited anyway. I'm okay with it. I'd make a motion.
Okay.
Accept it.
And I will second that motion, with an on-call basis. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, approved 2-0. Do we have to sign anything?
Yes. Thanks.
The last thing I do have a request for casino funds with me. This is for the match for the grant that we just opened the bids on. It's in the amount of $250,000, which is our 20% match on the $1 million. There's actually $333,000 budgeted for it, which would have been the match previously, but the legislators took the match down from 25% down to 20% for counties that have a population of less than 50,000. So that decreased our match from $333,000 down to $250,000. So this is a request for casino funds, per how you guys, want to go through the channels on that for you to consider.
I make a motion, we proceed.
I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, approved for the casino to go to the council. $250,000.
That's all I have today, unless someone has any questions.
Do you want to talk briefly, Carl? I thought it would be good. We did not do it at the last meeting, but you and I had a meeting recently at the resort, and just high level talk about some of that with NDOT and what we're looking at possibly.
Yeah, NDOT has several projects coming up. I think they have awarded, I think the amount was $31 million for improvements on the highways, state roads between Paley and French Lick,
Combat flooding.
to combat the flooding. And some of that's actually raising the highway as it runs down along Lick Creek there, in several different places, several different projects, and there's talks of a possible roundabout project down in French Lick, but it's still
If there's funding left over from that 31 million.
right. But I do think that it could possibly impact several of our county roads, some detours, things like that. So we're gonna have to really keep sharp on that, so we don't incur some road damage with the county with these detours from the NDOT projects. Didn't they say possibly like several feet of raising the state road down through there?
Yes.
So, I mean, it's all good things.
For us, yeah. Okay, thank you. Anything for the highway department? All right.
Might also talk about, a little bit about that system you've got now. That's gonna be invaluable as far as damage to our roads on these detours and stuff like that. If, a system you got now where you can
Yeah, we're,
inventory all our roads.
right, we actually got set up with them. The first year's about to run out, and that's something we'll talk about probably in a February meeting. But it's a AI software called Biolytics, and we have basically you take a phone and there's a mount, you put it on your vehicle when you drive our roads, and this AI processor catches every little defect in the roads, takes all your sign inventory, actually grades your signs, checks to see what, if they need replaced or not. It'll tell you if there's even brush that needs cut out. I mean, it'll basically tell you everything. But you can drive it as many times as you want. There's a file, a timestamp for every time that you drive the road. It takes a picture every 10 feet. So you can literally click and go down your road 10 feet at a time and have a live picture of exactly what it looks like. A lot of these counties said that they're using that for these NDOT detours. They'll drive it before that starts, and they'll drive it every few weeks, and you can actually, you have a timestamp of the damage and the deterioration that, and a lot of counties are being able to use that tool to get reimbursement from NDOT on their county roads. So
It's great. That's really great.
but you can create work orders off of it. It's got so many features. We can input all of our culvert inventory. We'll have all of our culverts right at my fingers touch. A picture, several different pictures, a lot of information. It's the wave of the future. It's coming. They currently have 30 counties they're working with. We're one of the 30 counties. And it's growing. I think there'll be 50 counties by the end of the year.
Great.
And it also provides information for some of the reporting requirements.
Yes.
They've already said that. but
Yeah, we take, LTAP has requirements for our Pacer ratings. Every time we drive it Pacer rates every one of our roads. You can drive 55 miles an hour over your county roads. I don't suggest that, but you can drive 55 miles an hour and it will pick up everything driving that fast. It's hard to wrap your mind around. AI, it's amazing.
Good information. Thank you, Karen. Maintenance director.
Good morning.
No, it's 9:12. I'll interrupt.
Okay, she'll interrupt you when we have to open up bids, but you can go ahead, sir.
I don't have a whole lot, just, I'm gonna get approval for the 2 new flags, actually 4 flags up there on the courthouse lawn. It's $2,950. I just need approval to go ahead and order them. And that's basically all I got, really.
Okay.
The snow's gonna go south of us.
I'll make a motion that we approve the flags.
I'll second.
Have a motion second, all in favor? Aye.
Snow's going south.
And then they're gonna come up and,
They're gonna come
Right,
out, put
work
it,
with
put
you
it out,
on it.
yeah, and they're gonna work with me.
good. So we can look in the future.
It's not like you to say that.
The snow's going south.
I agree.
Anything else, sir?
That's it.
All right. I appreciate it. Guess we've got about a minute here, but Rick, if you would like to go ahead and start EMA's office.
Yeah, I don't have any business that needs to be conducted, but I'm just in a day-to-day, been working with some different groups, you'll hear about it and coming up in the meeting, but that's all I've got going on.
No big snow news to report.
They've not come out with anything. I would say we're probably gonna see snow, and we'll be on the lesser amounts, maybe around 6 inches or so.
That's awesome.
No.
I haven't Weather Service hasn't put any of that out yet.
Get your bread and melts.
30 inches.
We'll probably get that.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
I said, I always think it's funny, like, the news always says how bad it's gonna be, then Rick sends us the actual report from the National Weather Service, and it's always less. It's always less than what the news is reporting.
It's gonna catch up with you one day though, so.
Well, we will now open up our bids.
I'm just waiting till my phone says 9:15. So here we go. Perfect. All right.
And this is going to be the bids for the reassessment for the assessor's office.
Rellers Southern, I believe. Yes, Rellers Southern Indiana Appraisal LLC. The first bid. Bear with me.
Chainsaw.
Total amount of the bid for Rellers Southern Indiana, $279,900, $279,900. Just two. Okay. Just two names, right? Word. The next is from Tyler Technologies. A total bid amount $344,652. $344,652. That concludes the bid opening. I would request that commissioners take the bids under advisement.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion to take the bids under advisement. I'll second that motion. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
Any other elected officials? I don't think we have any today. So it looks like we have Brandy. We have Youth First here today to report. Mr. Spencer?
That's right. Good morning, Commissioners. I wanted to give a status update on what we've been doing since we received opioid funds in Orange County. So this would be a mid-year report, and each of you should have this in your folders. As of 12/31/2025, Youth First mental health professionals in Orange County have served 220 students through educational prevention presentations, provided 64 students through one-on-one mentoring and or counseling, assisted students with immediate needs 191 times, and provided teacher consultations, 904 of those, and 208 parent consultations. Also in your folders, you will see each of the school's mental health professionals in Orange County, the data that you have on your Orange County Youth First data brief represents 2024-2025 data that is drawn from surveys of students when they are old enough to be surveyed, teachers, parents, and that reflects really on the back. You can see how we looked at adverse childhood experiences and or trauma in our youth's lives, what they're experiencing specifically in Orange County on the back. And then also in here is a document that represents the same kind of data brief, and this would represent our footprint in 14 counties in southern Indiana. We're now in 135 school buildings with over 100 mental health professionals on staff and about 30 administration in the office. I've also included in here, because I don't know if you receive our newsletter at home quarterly, but I've included the newsletter that also features your check presentation to you first and some other good news there. So we're very grateful for the investment that you've made with opioid settlement funds and Youth First, where all of our work is evidence-based, trauma-informed care, K through 12. Very good.
Who decides what the trauma is?
Pardon?
Who decides what the trauma is?
Well, that is, what we kind of base that on is research done by Kaiser Permanente in roughly about 98 is when the research was produced. So adverse childhood experiences means roughly abuse, neglect, household dysfunction, and there are multiple screening tools for that.
Yeah, but not everybody's the same, so.
Very individualized.
So you can't use one survey over. It sounds like you're soliciting.
Yeah, not exactly. So,
If you're surveying random kids,
No.
it's soliciting.
so what, and you can jump in.
Yeah.
So what Youth First does is they have a social worker in all 3 of our schools. And-
Soliciting.
How about we have a conversation after the meeting and I can talk with you all about all of your questions.
I don't really have any questions.
Finally, I'd also add that on April 9th, we are doing a community event at Mitchell High Schools in which we will do a parent education night. It is for junior and senior high school parents. The topic will be parenting in a digital world, in which we will discuss the dangers of online activity, what we see in as much as everyday things, childhood abduction, exploitation. We can tip our hat to the hick from French Lick, whom I think
Larry Bird.
Yes, who has partnered with the Indiana State Police in doing a series of spots on television or PSAs related to this very subject matter, which is online behaviors and apps on a student's phone that parents may think are one thing, but really they're another. So for me, it was surprising to learn the calculator on a lot of students' phones is not just a calculator for math help, but it's also a place where students can keep images, texts, and so forth that they don't want mom and dad to see. And so we review about 20 to 25 of these phone apps, and it covers just a variety of subjects in today's world.
Do you have evidence of this?
Pardon?
Do you have evidence?
Sir, this isn't the time for that. They're to give a
Oh, I
report.
can talk.
If you want to reach out to them after this meeting, you can do that.
Oh, I can't talk. Sorry.
Yeah, they're giving a report on the grant they received.
Okay. You just tell people they can't talk to.
There is a time for talk, but this isn't it.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you for the
very much your
information.
support.
Yep, thank you for the information. Do we, for our documentation, Randy?
I have a copy.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Theron, have you signed him or had his?
Yes,
agenda?
I have that for Theron, yes. The commissioners need to make their appointments to the Paoli Plan Commission buffer zone. The recommendation is Steve King as a Democrat appointee. He currently serves and is agreeable to doing that. And then the Republican buffer zone appointee means Robert, he goes by Bob Siebel.
Motion?
Yeah.
Make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Richard. I will second that motion. All in favor? Aye. Approved 2-0. Is that the only one? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right, we will now move on to audience items, and we will start with Mr. Stroud with the Health Department. Good morning, Juan.
In front of you, you can find our 2025 report for the health department. This can be found on Indiana's website as well. We've uploaded it. I guess some of the numbers that we have done over the past year. you have to review that and have a chance, any questions about that, I'd be happy to answer those. Next, we have, there's an opportunity regionally for a grant. It's called the GROW Initiative. It's $207 million that's across Indiana. It is targeted towards the rural environment, rural counties. Our region stands to potentially get in Region 7 about 15 million for the first year. Brandy and I and Rick sat down in a meeting yesterday, and we come up with a letter to reach out to possible stakeholders throughout the county. Those would be medical professional organizations, to kind of put together an idea of how Orange County could be served with this. If you break that down, that's that 15 million per region. That's about 2 million for Orange County. You know, that's not to supplant current activity. That's to build on new opportunities, new advancements, new things for our rural environment, to keep them in the counties where they're at. To expand the rural hospitals, to expand the rural doctor's offices and such. Brandy, do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, so some of that is, so there's 12 initiatives. 11 of them will be state ran, according to the information that we have now. And this information, I'm sure, will somewhat change as the state kind of develops and moves through this. But they put all the rural counties, I think there's 67-ish, that are considered rural out of the 92 counties. And they will be the ones that will be able to utilize these funds the most. There are some urban areas that also serve rural, and they will have a spot on that as well, but they won't be kind of the lead folks. This is according to the webinars. So there are 12 total initiatives. The first 11 are kind of state ran, and those are multiple different things, such as provider recruitment, development of family physicians, multiple types of physicians. There's EMR, electronic medical record upgrades. There's all kinds of different things in those 11 that the state will be sending additional information out. We don't know how that shakes out. We don't know how, at this point, who will be able to apply or how that even works. But what we do know is Initiative 12. Initiative 12 is 60% of all the GROW funds, so it's quite significant. And that Initiative 12 is really where the community partners come in, and community coalitions, and building on the work that is being done. Again, they are forming, they've split us into 8 regions. We are in Region 7. There are 8 counties in Region 7. So with that, they are going to be identifying kind of region leads, and we're all assuming that once those regional leads are identified, they will kind of bring all 8 counties together that's in our region. So we don't really have a lot of information, but what was emphasized is the health department cannot apply for these funds, but they are to be involved. That was quite clear. So the health department is really taking an advanced kind of lead in kind of rallying the partners and forming some form of a hey, here we are thing for when we get more information so that we can be ready. Our assumption, which may very well be wrong, is that it might very well function kind of like the opioid settlement monies do, somewhat maybe like the Health First funds, and it might eventually flow through the county, the commissioners, and down, just like those other funds do. But we do not know that. When we don't know a ton of things yet, because there's only been 2 webinars, this is developing, but we want to be prepared, and we want to have, I think, the health department center the plan for Orange County and its partnership. So Lonnie, they'll be sending out an email kind of rallying everybody and getting everybody together to at least be somewhat unified as we move through the process.
In that letter, it would be an open invitation to those ones invited to bring whoever they'd like. The meeting's gonna be February the 10th at 3 p.m. And it's going to be focused towards the medical.
Sure.
In our county. So we just want to get ahead of things.
Absolutely.
There's, like Brandy said, there's not a lot of information. It is kind of targeted regionally, but in that region, you know, we are center. You know, we're front and center. We do have a hospital, which a couple of them don't have a hospital. The counties in our region, just for FYI, is Perry, Crawford, Harrison, down along the river, us and Washington up from them, then Lawrence, Jackson, and Brown. Those are the counties that are going to be in our region. So we have a good relationship with several of those counties working together. So we anticipate, you know, kind of partnering outside of our county as well.
Good.
I'm gonna be reaching out to the EMA directors to make them clear of what we're doing and try to help them along the way if they need assistance to build the way we kind of see it right now is the more counties that are similar to us and can use our data and see these are the issues, we'll stand a better chance of getting funding.
Good.
We feel pretty good about what we've done through Health First Initiative with the survey that we did. We think that that's going to play into some of this, but we'll also, you know, go farther than that because this initiative is broader than the Health First.
Very good.
But knowing what you know now, Health First could be, I mean, some of that stuff could possibly be refunded through this.
So the health department can't be direct recipient, but I did see, Brandy, if you correct me if I'm wrong, the health department in the county can receive funds as a
Partner.
Yeah.
As a partner with whatever that regional plan looks like. And again, this is just early stages, so there isn't a ton of yes, this is the direction, you know. So, and I think that we'll know more when those regional coordinators are in place and that they kind of head up the team of everybody. So really, once we get them in place, we'll know more. But yes, I think that there is multiple, you know, partnering possibilities, and the health department would be one of them. But they just cannot be the direct kind of fiscal agent or of the funds. You know, it doesn't go to them like it did, like the Health First funds did. It's more of a community or regional effort, and our region is 7.
There's a lot of regions. We can start getting them commingled once on. We've had Region 9. And
We put in for a couple positions on that just to see where it sticks. You know, as far as that regional board is very specific about what they're going to allow on it, and we've applied for a couple positions. We don't know how that's going to roll out.
Be proactive.
Yeah, I feel like it. A little less exciting news. We have had a couple complaints in regards to homes. We're going to have our environmental meeting. Is that right? When is that scheduled for?
The next commissioner meeting.
Next commissioner meeting, which would be the 4th February. Okay. Be presenting a couple to you for review. We'll talk more about this. I'll give you a heads up on that.
I know we did get some complaints, Lonnie, from someone that lives in the French Lick city limits about some zoning or some rules as far as policing rental homes, which I think it's good for everyone to know. The commissioners have no authority inside of any corporate limits of anywhere, you know, that would, you know, and I don't think there's a lot of rules as far as
Indiana code does have some rules on renters and tenants. That's the information we give out is the Indiana code. That Indiana code says to get with an attorney if you have a problem with your landlord not fulfilling your lease agreement. With that, you know, we don't have a building department in Orange County.
Right.
The health department is not a building department. You know, there are some things that we can get involved in. Generally, those are issues that are more along the lines of complaint-based, Child Protective Services, Sheriff's Department, Fire Department, some of these other agencies bring us in to make observations and reports.
And typically, there's more rental homes, rental apartments inside city limits and not in the county.
Correct, yeah. I found it interesting on the radio. They were giving some statistics, and we're seeing this is the homeless population has shifted. There's been a 17% growth in the homeless population in rural areas versus 9% in the rural and the more incorporated areas. We see that in campers, tents, in rural areas, areas that are not as easily observed, but the living conditions are pretty horrible. So, just FYI for us to go forward, that it may be something that we do have to look at in the future if it continues to grow, and just to keep it under control for our residents.
Anything else from the health department?
Nope.
All right, I appreciate it, Lonnie.
Can I comment or not?
I'm sorry?
Am I allowed to comment?
This isn't with
No, I
something.
can't comment. Okay.
You can come to my office, we can discuss things.
I was just gonna say, you should look into Section 8 houses.
So Section 8 houses are inspected by,
I don't think so. I've been in some awful ones.
there are awful ones, you're right.
All of them are.
Okay. We're gonna move to Amy Wilson, Extension Office. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning. I'm just here to give the year-end report for the community center. And also to mention a couple of things too.
Thank you.
I'll leave one for Steve too. And, so revenue, slightly up, expenses were up even more. There are, several areas where cost increase occurred this last year. One of the biggest areas is insurance. The insurance went up significantly, and utilities, of course, increased somewhat, and then maintenance and mowing, janitor expenses, those have increased as well. But on that note, we went from having kind of intermittent mowing, intermittent cleaning, to having things being regularly maintained and upkept. And so I've heard a lot of good feedback as far as renters saying, the building looks, super clean. The grounds are being very well kept, and so we're really pleased with that. I had a report recently from Lisa Thomas, who does our cleaning over there, that our collapsible walls, our foldable walls, are in need of repair. I spoke to Steve yesterday, and he told me to go ahead and reach out to the company that we have used for that. And so I did call and leave them a message, and I'm waiting for a return call from them.
I think they were serviced 3 years ago.
Yeah, I was thinking it was November of 23. The reason I think that is because I went over when they did repair, Sarah and I, when Sarah worked at the extension office, and we took a video of how to properly open and close those walls so that we would know, not only for ourselves, but also for any cleaning person that was new coming in. And so that was the record that I was able to find anyways, was that video that I still had on my phone. So it has only been a couple of years, but I know Lisa had told me that some of the wall partitions had been dragging since she took over in August, and they've just progressively gotten worse, and now she's got some that are just actually starting to fall apart there on the bottom. So we are going to get that attended to as quickly as possible. And then my only other request is, I think you gentlemen are aware that Lisa is going to be doing a vendor expo there in April, I believe. And she had mentioned to me the possibility of relocating the display that's there in the foyer area that has the shovels and the pictures for the groundbreaking. She said that, for vendors that are going to be doing like a wedding reception or something like that, that's a little bit of a deterrent because it is somewhat of an eyesore there in the entrance of the building. And so we would like to request actually to relocate that possibly into the boardroom. Or into another area of the hallway, maybe further back or something.
That whole display you're talking
The
about?
whole display, yes. Yeah.
I suppose not.
Yeah, I don't see I've never really, I mean, it's always been there, but I mean, I can
Right.
see why it would be an eyesore. I mean,
Yes.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think the boardroom is still a nice place. I mean, I don't see that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Where to put it in there or just not put it, period. You can go your way. Might just be extending the eyesore.
Maybe do some, well, but in a boardroom, I mean, it's not like, there's not events that's an eyesore in a boardroom usually.
Let's put some thought into that,
Okay,
if you don't
sure.
mind.
All right.
I definitely think we're good with relocating it from the now,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, sure. All right, and then once you gentlemen have made that decision, then you get with Robbie and see, Robbie can help us out with that.
The gold shovel.
So, yeah. All right, and that's all I have for you this morning. Unless you have any questions.
Thanks for the good report.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Priscilla with TMOC, good morning, Priscilla.
Hey, good morning. On behalf of Robert, a couple of things is America 250, we have opportunity to apply for a grant for up to $20,000. And what we'd like to do, Richard and Marshall, is add another picnic on the lawn for the America 250. We want to do this on July 5th. That way it does not have any conflict with the town events that they do on the 4th. We would have bands, some food, just some great community events to bring families out to the communities versus sitting in their homes after the holidays. I don't need any funds. I'm not requesting anything other than your approval to hold the event there. It would be on behalf of the 3 commissioners, and we would write the funding needed for this into that grant. Is there any questions on that?
This is great.
Okay, you like it? The other piece is Robert has requested, and we're gonna write this into the grant too, so no funding requested, is that we place the America 250 flag at each of our town halls, each of our schools, and our county buildings. And we would write the cost of the flags into the grant, and it would be a gift on behalf of the commissioners. And Lonnie, if you'll just kind of help me with this for a second. This is what the flag looks like. And it would be hung on May 1st through, oops, thank you, through, I put my glasses on, through July 6th. So is there any questions on that? Would you be
No
fine if
problem.
we
I
did
think
that?
it looks great.
Looks good.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, this is one of our biggest requests we've ever asked on behalf of Team OC. As you know, we work not with just kids, but we work with schools, with families, with other nonprofits to try to help everyone excel and move forward as a county. Oftentimes, people ask us how we get so much work done, and it's because we build teams of volunteers who help us push initiatives forward. So we have the opportunity to apply for a grant for Being Further Health and Wellness, where what I would like to request is a lease on the property behind the JSI building for 2 years initially. After the 2 years, between that grant and 2 others that we're working on, I would then like to extend the lease for the lifetime of Team OC. What we would do there is build up to 3 open floor plan homes, garden, walking trail. What this would serve is these families, and we have many. One example I'll give you is we have a mother with 3 children who all of a sudden became homeless. We secured some shelter for her and her family. What this would serve is for families like that, and we've had at least 5 in the last 90 days I can think of, where they'll go into this housing for 90 days. They'll work with our resource manager to build resumes, do job placement. We make connection with a bank who will do financial education to help them balance their budgets to where we can get them within the 90 days into housing and have long-term success. The partners we would also bring in is partners like Grace Haven, is once their ladies graduate from the program, if they need that housing or that kickstart, this would be part of it. Also Safe Haven and other nonprofits who help families move forward. There is no financial gain for Team OC whatsoever. Any of our partners, families, connections whatsoever, this is all through grant funding and for the betterment of the community. And the risk is really there's none. Because again, God forbid, Team OC go away. this goes right back to the county because you own the property. So if you take a look at, I've included in here a layout of what, kind of a snapshot of the picture of what this would look like up on the property.
Is that the cul-de-sac?
Yeah. Now, the goal would be, and I feel like we can do this, the goal would be to build an additional up there up to 5. If you take a look at the second to the last page, that's the map that Lonnie and I pulled yesterday with some of the group here. My only hiccup is going to be is currently in the purple area is all commercial. The yellow is
Residential.
yes,
It's
Mixed use.
yes, mixed use. So if you take a look at the left side of that yellow box there, it's right backed up to it. So I would have to go to the town and request them to rezone that. I will tell you, I've done research. There is no county in the state of Indiana doing this for the people. There's a little bit of, in Monroe, they've started some housing just for homeless, but nothing that provides a long-term solution. So many times we do a check of the box. This is not a check of the box. This is a long-term solution to helping our families move forward in Orange County. I know it's a lot, there's a lot there. Do you have any questions?
So you said it was a 90-day,
It'll be-
90-day stay?
Yeah, so for example, the ladies in your location, you have several that have children. Once they graduate from your program, then they would go into, potentially, if we have one open, potentially into the home, where we continue the efforts of helping them with stability of getting their own home, their jobs, and just being able to write that next chapter in life. So many times, and Chrissy, you can echo this too, you see it, Chrissy reached out this week, she had a family of dad with 2 kids that had nowhere to go. And we were running 72 hours strong trying to find something. And right now, the house there in Cyree is helping us with 2 of our families. But we're at max limit when it comes to something like this. And I'll tell you again, I can't do this by myself. You know, Lonnie and I think Carl and several others would be part of this initiative to make sure we're steering this thing the right direction. Marshall, this would be potential to not just from Orange County perspective, but from the state of Indiana and beyond, to make a statement of what we should be doing for our people.
On the building, I guess, question I would have on the building, the houses, would you try to get volunteers like Habitat does?
Well, and so just so you guys know my background, I had 28 years in home improvement. I had 15 years plus with Habitat. So yeah, my goal is to make this as least expensive as possible to where we can maximize the property.
Yeah.
But yes, and I'll tell you, it's unreal what Orange County has done together. And Lonnie, I give you a ton of credit for things that you've done, but to see all we can pick up, we dial a number and people are yes. So whether it be a discount on lumber or hey, will you come do a ceiling replacement, even ACHC installation, I don't think this is going to be an issue whatsoever. I think we'll be able to do more than, but our first stint is to present this and write a letter of intent for the $250,000. So, questions, thoughts?
Why not help the families before they become homeless?
Well, here's the thing, and I'll give you an example. We work with a lot of families. So we have a family, currently it's just, her son got ill. He had to go to the hospital. She had to either choose between the medicines or she had to choose between paying her rent. The landlord could not help with that situation. Now she's jobless.
But why don't you guys help with that instead of building houses?
Well, it's not that we're trying to give them long term. So I could write a check today.
Like teach them all the stuff you're talking about.
Yeah, but I can write them a check today. But that's a Band-Aid.
Right,
And
but
you guys
still
do
help.
help, you do help before.
Oh yeah, we do a ton of work
I'm
beforehand.
talking about
too.
do all the teaching stuff you're talking about.
Yeah,
like,
we do that
instead of
today.
building houses, just help them stay in their house.
Yeah, and here's what I'll tell you. We have, it was Habitat actually. We had a lady from Habitat that was getting ready to get evicted with her son. And we did a rally for funds to help make her house payments. We did a rally with one of our local banks to get her education on financial well-being. She's doing an amazing job. We did resume building. And now we even, this is the blessings we have in Orange County, we're even building a web page for her to where she can start her own business from a medical perspective. So we're doing a lot of that, I promise you.
Well, wouldn't that be easier than building houses though?
You know, there's so many times we can say, hey, we did this and move on, but I promise you, and you probably know this, the need is great for Orange County. Beyond what, you can do a check mark, we're not the check mark people, you know?
Right,
So-
that's just what you're talking about, that's where you're talking about, like,
Yeah.
doing that thing, instead of
You gotta do what, you gotta do
building
more.
a house for somebody, and then that should be the same thing. It's
Yeah,
just-
well, the house isn't just for them, the house, they get it for 90 days. So I appreciate you, I would love to have your feedback on this as we go. We're TNOC, we're on the corner, we're soon gonna be on, beside the library, so any feedback you have is welcome.
And it's interesting, my wife had dealt with a similar situation. She works in HR at the resort and had a new family that just relocated here. And she came home one day crying. I said, what is going on? And she said they had lived in their car on Christmas and just moved here from New York and had nowhere to go. I thought such a sad situation, and her and her husband both working and 2 kids,
Yeah.
so it's a real thing. And it's sometimes they just end up here and that's okay. It's okay. So, I love the idea.
Yeah, I'd like to get more orientated, where all this is and all that good stuff.
Yeah, Lonnie, right behind the JSI building, on the back side of that, is just, I think it's 12 acres. And I've got the third page, I think there, is the tax paper for it. Yeah, the next one. right
So
here.
what she's talking about is the road going up the hill that's dead ended right now.
Yeah.
It's just to the left. There's kind of a little bit of a flatter area there.
One of my questions is topography. There's some pretty rough terrain.
She's aware of that,
Yeah, and actually, that section we walked in does not look bad. There is a sewer, placement there already. Water lines are gonna be accessible. We looked at a few different pieces. When Lonnie and I looked at property last year, it was really just from the food sustainability perspective. This time it was housing. And to do this magnitude of a project, you have property out by the recycle center, but you can't build on that. And then with the gun range, you don't wanna touch that. This is the best piece that we found that would allow us to do something of this magnitude.
Yeah, I definitely think it's exciting, can be a great thing. And, obviously we have a few obstacles, some of, residential, but, ask for is that variance, I think that's what you.
But she said zone map change, so that would go before planning commission and then town council. Yeah, it's zone map change.
Lynn, do you have any questions or any thoughts? I mean, you do a lot of this, so is there anything that we've missed or thoughts?
I'll have to look over it and
Okay.
see. I just briefly looked
Okay.
at it, but the first thing was the zoning that I was
Okay.
thinking about, and then that process. And then you guys are a 501c3.
We are, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll look at it and let you know if I have questions.
And then the lease, I assume it would be something similar like maybe we've done at the hospital, and then if they would no longer be in business, it would revert back to the county, like,
I'll have to look into it, but I'll let you know if I have
Alright, thanks.
questions.
I think it's definitely something pursuing, and Commissioner Dixon's very aware of that land, so he's your land guy there. I won't try to act like he knows that much better the lay of the land there than I do, but I'm sure there's some spots.
I just got, it's not that I'm against it, I just got some unanswered questions that I'd like to be more comfortable with, but I think it's a great idea, it's more comfortable.
I thought you would. The thing about it is, I always say, I get my directions every morning from above, and then I come into these meetings, and you're always about the people. You're about making sure our aging population is taken care of, that our families are taken care of, and you don't see that anywhere else. So I think all of that combined together is what's kind of put this in our vision to do. And I have a meeting on Friday with that first nonprofit from the first grantee. I've got another follow-up next Thursday. And then our letter of intent has to be within, I think, the next 4 weeks. So if we can just follow up
Well, I
in the
think
next few weeks.
probably by the next meeting, we should have a better understanding.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thanks for presenting it and
You're
being
welcome.
proactive.
And then you may wanna reach out to the planning commission to see when their next meeting is, and maybe present this information there too.
Okay,
Would it be
perfect.
her or the county? Because it's county property.
Well, zone.
She can actually be the applicant as long as you sign an affidavit, but if you wanna go as well, that would be fine, but I think just the idea,
Perfect. Okay, thank
presenting
you.
it to planning commission, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nothing from CASA?
I'm good.
All right, glad to have you. Nothing from Grace Haven?
No, I just showed up just to see. I know that Sam and Cindy came to the last meeting and they presented a proposal letter that I'd written.
Yeah, and we've talked about it some, Robert. What I was hoping is, and I don't know that Sandy would know, but I was hoping our treasurer would be here this morning because I know we have a CD coming up, but I don't remember. I don't remember the exact amount of that. So I think by the next meeting we would probably be ready to make a decision on that request. So we're definitely interested. I was hoping she'd be here and I could find out the exact amount of that. But I think we'll be ready to take action. Is that going to put you in a bad spot waiting to the next?
No, we're hanging on.
Okay. Well, I think we'll be ready to, and you and I can talk before then, but I think we'll be ready to follow or go forward on a decision.
All right, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
The parade permit that they asked about at the last meeting from Town of Paley, that's not necessary to get, so.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Yeah. In the past, it was because of the parking around.
No,
Room.
you don't need to get
If
one.
we used
so.
any of the plug-ins. Oh, and I'll need to get with the maintenance guy too, because we'll need extra. In the past, when we've done events on the courthouse lawn, we had to have an extra power. There was like a panel that they
We'll
connected.
probably have to get with the town electric crew. I think they have panels made up.
Okay,
So
yeah.
We'll check on that.
I know Frankie did it before. I mean, whatever had to be done, there was a panel that they put up that connected. to
You
the
probably
courthouse.
work with them. Yeah, it's Rob.
I'll get with them.
Okay.
Good deal. Thanks, sir. All right, Skylar with Economic Development Partnership. Good morning,
Hi,
Skylar.
Good morning. So I just have one thing to talk about today. And we have quietly, for the past several months, been working on the opportunity to bring a YMCA to Orange County. I just got the okay last week. We have been working with the Washington County YMCA because in order to get a new YMCA, you have to come in under an existing one, is their process. Just like the Jasper Regional Wellness Center, their new YMCA is coming in under Ferdinand. So that's the process that you have to follow. There have been, over the past couple of years, at least 2 separate efforts, one being the multiplex plan for Paoli that Brandy led and has done a lot of extensive planning, and then one that the town of Prince has been looking into, which they referred to theirs as a community center. So over the course of that time, I kept being told, well, it's a multiplex or it's a community center because we can't get a YMCA. So I reached out to the Washington County YMCA to find out, well, if we can't get one, can I at least find out about your programming and your costs and how you do this? And that led me to finding out that this could be a potential opportunity. So last week they told me that it was okay to go ahead and start talking to our partners about this possibility. And then last night, Christina Allen from the Community Foundation and I met with their board to request moving forward with a feasibility study. So I will be clear, we are very far from even the starting line at this point. Unfortunately, I wish I had an answer for you guys. I was hoping I would walk out with an answer last night, but I didn't, which I understand. But we asked for permission to move forward with a feasibility study with the company that they use. So that would explore sustainability. So that would be the biggest point of, would people use it? What services would people be looking for? And it would also explore up to 3 different sites in the county. And I also want to be clear, this is not a competition. You know, this is a county project, so to bring this to Orange County, it's going to take all of us working together. This would be for the betterment of Orange County as a whole, not to see communities competing against one another within the county. But we would give them up to 3 potential sites that they would use in their feasibility study to look at. And then we would just use that data. If the feasibility study might say, hey, this isn't going to work. And if that's what it says, then we say, okay, thank you. If it says that it could work, that's when we move forward with further planning and we use that data to figure out, you know, what is the best location? What is this going to look like? What is the funding? So like I said, we are very far from even being at the starting line. But that meeting did go very well last night, and then I should find out, I'm hoping today, but if not today, in the next couple of days, if we get to move forward with that feasibility study. So the biggest piece of that, if we do, that will be a 90-day process. And they will reach out to people throughout the county to ask a list of questions. Again, it will be about services and things like that. So really the biggest ask at this point, if we get to the point of the feasibility study, is that people participate in that survey. That's going to be the biggest thing. They have they do like a probability match of what the Orange County population is. So they have to reach out to so many people in certain age demographics and men versus women and people with kids. So they have to hit those target numbers. So that would be the biggest ask at this point if we get to move forward with the study, is if you get a phone call or you get a letter, please participate in that.
Very good. Yeah, I've heard of some buzz already about it. So.
Yeah, so if you have questions, feel free to have people reach out to me. There are not a lot of answers to questions at this point because, like I said, we are just at the point where we're hoping that Washington County will agree to partner with us and let us do this feasibility study.
Great.
That's all I got.
All right, thank you very much. Nothing, Dr. Terrell? All right. Trish Martinez with Lifeline, good morning.
Good morning. I wish I had some good news today since our last meeting. Just to be quite transparent, we've lost 2 paramedics since I last came. So we're very short-staffed. I also have one on medical leave. So essentially, had my first meeting with IDHS yesterday to look into implementing a integrated mobile health here in Orange County that I think will be beneficial for those who are repeat 911 callers, lift assist, things like that, to cut down on the abuse of the 911 system essentially, and provide better resources and healthcare options for people who need assistance. And we're hoping that will keep our units more available and able to respond to the more critical calls.
That was the topic of Lawrence County Commissioners meeting, I think, last month, with over abuse, I guess you would say, of 911 resources when not needed.
Yeah. So right now, IDHS has informed us of some different funding for that, and next steps will be meeting with key stakeholders that are doing it, like in Bloomington, to see how they're doing it, what they're doing, and then trying to implement something like that here. And I don't know if Rick has told you, but due to increases in the economy and all that stuff, Lifeline does want to come back to the table to renegotiate the contract. And speaking with Rick, we're going to come up with several different options. You'll see in the data that I'm going to give you that 94% of our runs were ALS. When you look at Lawrence County's data, and their run volume is almost 3 times more than what it is here, 85% of those were BLS. And I feel these numbers are skewed a little bit because both units are ALS. So essentially, any patient that goes to the ER, the paramedic's going to start IV, and that automatically makes it an ALS run. So essentially, I'm thinking the numbers could be beneficial if we want to, look at adding a BLS unit versus an ALS unit. The costs for those are significantly cheaper, but we're going to provide you with several different options and things like that coming up. So I did schedule a preliminary meeting with Rick. I think it's next week.
Yeah, next Thursday's when she's requested. I just haven't seen you to verify you'd be available for that.
Yeah, and I don't know, I don't have any idea on what the cost of coverage is. I don't deal with that. That'd be Melissa Cash, our vice president. But I did also mention to her that, both counties struggle financially, so the cheapest way we can do it would be beneficial for everybody.
Well, I know Richard's very well versed in working with that, so I would ask that he continue to spearhead that and has done an exceptional job doing that and bring his recommendation back to the commissioners.
All right. And also, I will be attending more District 8 meetings as liaison in hopes to grow this mobile integrated healthcare. It seems like this is the future of EMS and the way they're going. I know that Lifeline's now partnering with virtual care, so I think we're headed in that direction. But with the staffing shortages the way they are, especially at the paramedic level, we have to start thinking outside the box on how we can care for the community.
And it's not it's not just Orange County.
I even reached out to my alma mater, Harrison County, about their staffing last week, and they're in the same boat we are. Yeah. It's everywhere. It's a national problem. Yeah. So.
And the governor addressed it when he was at the fire training site last week. Even firefighters, emergency services,
we're all struggling.
Little boys and girls don't want to be policemen and paramedics and firemen anymore.
Yeah.
And,
and it's funny because when I go to high schools and talk to the kids, I go to job fairs and we have to force people to come to our booth because they're just not interested.
Yeah. So hopefully that changes.
Yeah, me too. But as far as data, it looked like our heaviest months for run volume were August and October, and our lowest was in November. So there's our stats for you guys there.
It's worth noting that this GROW initiative, we believe, might be something
Yeah, because we'll have to work closely like with, the local community health, the health department, and other healthcare partners in the community, including APS also. So it's gonna take a lot of work, but I think we can do it, and it'll benefit the community.
We appreciate the partnership and we want to keep the strong partnership, so, thank you. All right, so just you and Rick and you all can work with Richard. Okay, thank you for that. Dan with Kinetic, good morning.
Good morning. I will be really, really brief. So we have an annual cybersecurity report that we try to do every year, just kind of keep you guys up to date on how things look here in Orange County. So I'll just go through this really briefly. So total devices managed for 2025 were 182. We were up from 173 in 2024. Total mitigated threats, 76. Total network intrusion events, 0. Total ransomware critical data loss events, 0. I'm going to knock on this wood here. Security posture. So we gave it our own security posture rating here for Orange County. I don't give this rating very lightly, but I did want to give Orange County a high security posture rating. I have to give it a high rating just based on all of the variables, all of the things that we have brought to you guys that we had security concerns on that you took under consideration and approved. I give Orange County a lot of credit for that. Every time we came to you guys and had a concern, the commissioners were quick to address it. And I think that's what allows us to give you guys this a very high security posture rating. And you can read through those. I won't go through every one of them, but those are the reasons for the scores. I do want to mention that that Orange County does have Windows 11 endpoints now everywhere. Windows 10 expired last October. We brought that up to you, and those replacements were approved. We replaced approximately 35 computers in 2025 to accommodate the expiration of the old Windows 10 computers and later. We do have some security recommendations. They are moderate priority, but those include the restrictions with user authentication for all Wi-Fi access points, which basically means that what we would like to do at some point is go through and all the Wi-Fi access points, set them up where they are more restrictive, also more segmented. So you would have guest access that would be available that would isolate the guest from critical county infrastructure, and then also have secured wireless access on top of that. So more of a layered access to just help us tighten things up. And also separate VLANs per office. This was something that's been brought up a couple of times to us from offices, like, hey, why do I see the assessor's printer at the auditor's office? And it's because not all of those offices are logically separate. And we can certainly do that. Not a huge security concern, but it's just another one of those fine-tuning, house cleaning things that we can do to continue to help support and protect Orange County computer systems. So again, giving it the high rating, we're definitely not trying to be complacent here. We're not saying that Orange County is impervious at all. We have no illusions. These cyber attacks evolve daily, but we feel confident to give it that rating. So appreciate your guys' time. Any questions for IT?
I think everything is good.
I think so. I think, Dan, we look up here at the intrusion event 0 and critical data loss event 0. And we've always been inclined to take your recommendations, and I think that's a policy that we need to continue to follow. Apparently it's paying off. And I understand that anything can happen anytime, but so far it's been successful.
There's industry standards, best practices, and we try to go by those, and we try to bring them to your attention. All we can do is ask.
Yep.
All we can do is present, propose,
Yep.
and I will say that, and it's just, it's, the proof's in the pudding here. Every time we do, you guys say, yes, let's do it, let's keep things secure, and the statistics show that that's paid off.
Yep.
So appreciate you guys helping make us look good by approving the projects that we bring forward. Definitely a good partnership, and looking forward to
Absolutely.
2026.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Dan.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Take care.
Thanks. We would now move on to Tucker Law Office.
Thank you. I have resolution 2026-1, resolution authorizing designated representative to sign NDOT agreements. And that is designated Richard Dixon as the designated signer for those agreements.
I will make that motion.
I guess I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved 2-0.
Thank you. I have 2 copies of that. Next, I have the interlocal agreement by and between the Orange County Solid Waste District and the Board of Commissioners of Orange County. This was approved at the solid waste meeting this morning. It's for a period of time between January 1st, 2026 and December 31st, 2026. District shall pay Orange County $246,000 for the 12-month period, payable in installments of $20,500 per month, with the first payment due and payable on or before January 31st, 2026.
I will make a recommendation that we move forward with the interlocal agreement.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Approved 2-0.
Thank you. Pass that down. I'm missing the first page for one of these, so
I think
I'll
somebody
take that
took it.
one.
You'll
Yeah,
just
and
give
I'll
that
give
one.
that one to
Thank you.
Sandy, so. The next item I have to present is on behalf of Catherine Henderson. It is a uniform conflict of interest disclosure statement for her court reporting services that she provides to the county for 8 reporting services. This is something that she has to do annually. She did sign this on January 10th. It was submitted by email to the Orange County Commissioners on January 19th. So I will need a motion to accept that uniform conflict of interest disclosure statement.
I have a motion by Richard, and I will second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved 2-0.
And there's 2 I have to sign here, where they need to be signed. That is all I have for commissioners today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to our Madam Auditor.
Okay, let's see. I think I don't have very much either. All I have is Region 15 planning. Got with me, and so they need 2 appointments from the commissioners. So
something you want to do?
On Ross, with the Ross?
Region 15.
Region 15, no, I don't.
Carl has been our appointment in the past.
I think it's been you and Richard, right? On Region 15?
Marshall.
It's
Oh,
been me.
Marshall,
It's been
okay,
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well-
Motion, we stay where we're at on
I figured you would. Make Carl awfully happy. I will second that motion. All in favor?
it. Aye.
Aye.
You
Okay,
agree
approved.
with that, Carl? Okay. I
It's
need
dark,
you-
we go to
I
those
need you
meetings,
guys
it's
to
late.
Fill these out for me, please, before
Okay, we'll
we
fill
go.
them out
All
before.
right, and then the second thing I have is just the new mileage rate. The federal's raised theirs to .73, and there's the state is 49 with an average. We're at 61 now, so it's just gonna raise it a penny, but we can raise it to .61.
I make a motion that we make that change.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved 2-0.
That's all that.
Will that be retroactive to
January 1st.
Got there.
Yeah. Do we do it quarterly or semi-annually?
Semi,
Semi, yeah. Okay.
July.
So let our motion reflect that. Okay. Richard,
I
Anything
have
for you?
nothing today.
And I do not have anything either. So I would entertain a motion to sign claims and adjourn.
So made.
Okay, I'll second.